How old are you? 25. You need to do 2 houses a year. And by the time you're 40 years old, you'll be worth 40 million bucks. So when you ask the question of should I start with multifamily or single family, I say start with single family because not only are there way more deals, but there's way more exit strategies. You didn't even have to become the owner. You essentially wrapped your own terms on top of it and sold it to him, and now you're the bank. You're creating money out of thin air. Hey guys, we're in Dallas, Texas. About to see a Subto house that I bought a couple of years ago from Zach Shelley, one of my students. My house apparently is on the golf course. I've never been to the house before, and so we're gonna check this out. Can you believe that I bought this house sight unseen? I have still never spoken to the seller, ever. The seller sold it to me on seller finance / Subto, which means I took over his mortgage, okay? I never pulled my credit. I didn't use any of my own money. I paid myself up front. And it's an Airbnb right now, making about $2,000, $3,000 a month in my pocket. Let's go in, let's check out what this property looks like. And apparently, we actually have a really bad story to tell you because our Airbnb guests trashed the house this last stay. So let's go check out how bad the damage is. All right, some rich people shit up in here. Ooh, let's check this out. Look at this tile, bro. That seems really weird to go to the backyard this way. Oh, dude, this is sick. I actually didn't know we had a pool like this. Why am I not staying here when I'm in Dallas? Like, why am I staying in a hotel right now? This is crazy. Right on a golf course. That's stupid. If I was an Airbnb guest, I'd want to like go on walks and stuff on the golf course. Dude, this is crazy. So this house has caused me actually a lot of issues. The neighbors don't like it that it's an Airbnb. This has been on Airbnb for 2 years. It's made money. The property has gone up $200,000 in value. So I bought this house for roughly like 500 grand. I bought this subject to, means I'm making payments on the seller's mortgage, but he gave me a balloon. So his mortgage has 24 more years on the mortgage because he got the house, he lived in it for 6 years, means he has 24 more years to pay it off because mortgages are how long? 30 years. He says, Pace, I want the mortgage paid off and done within 7 years of you buying it. So I got a 7-year balloon, which means I have 5 more years to own the property. And I either A, have to refinance it, B, I have to sell the property, or C, I have to pay him all off all in cash. Which one am I gonna do? Probably sell the property. Anyway, this is a great house. Let's check it out. I have like 2 light bulbs working in here. Okay, so we only have, apparently there's a bunch of damage going on in the property. This is cheesy. That's really cheesy. This back of the house is actually laid out really stupid. There should be a big slider here that opens up and shows you the whole backyard. The only way to get to the backyard is a solid door. That door should be glass. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Same thing here. There should be a sliding glass door here that walks out to the pool. Like whoever built this house, it really screwed up and missed the opportunity there. Okay, I got the toilet here, bedroom in here. So this is the master. All right, this is cool. This is cool. All right, marble. Big old house. Can't hate on this, right? Oh, there's a crib. That my Airbnb manager did a good job there. Isn't that cool, Zach, that I didn't have to set up the Airbnb? I'm not managing the Airbnb. I'm collecting money on this thing every single month, and I don't have any involvement. Have you been here before? No, never been here before. You owned it for 2 years. Owned it 2 years. Oh yeah, this is cool. Wow, this is great, dude. I mean, the floor plan is a little funky, but it's a big, for like a party house, dude. Imagine if you were like a kid staying here with like your cousins. Like how much fun would you have here? There's 2 bedrooms on the main floor. Yeah, bro, I'm happy about this. Molly on my team's like, we should sell this house. Because we got a letter from the HOA that they don't like that we're doing Airbnb here. Okay, so so far we got 1, 2 bedrooms downstairs, 1, 2, 3 bedrooms in there. So 5. Holy shit, dude, I just might move here. You got a whole podcast studio, dude. This is so dope. So I bought this before COVID took off. Oh, okay. So how much money do you think I made during COVID? Values of houses went through the roof here. So 500,000 for the house. The property's gone up 180 grand in 2 years. And the property has made me about $50,000 in cash flow. The tax benefits of this alone. Because when you buy real estate, the IRS gives you a tax incentive and says, oh, instead of giving your money to us, you're gonna put it in real estate? Okay, cool, you don't have to pay taxes. Isn't that stupid? Stupid. Okay, so you got a movie theater room, that's cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 bedrooms in here. Every bedroom has its own TV. Dude, how cool is it that I own this house, man? Going on this trip with me for 9 days, does this make you want to own real estate or no?
It's not making me want to. It's a need now. I have to do it.
You have to do it.
I have to.
Like even if you and Chris bought a couple deals a year,
Yeah.
Think about this. You want to retire, right? How much do you want to retire with and what age? Like you don't want to, you never worry about money ever again is retirement to me. How old are you? 25. So would you say like 40 years old, you'd be happy at 40 years old with 20 million? 15 years from now? I'd say 40, yeah, say 40 mil for both of you guys, 40 mil, right? You want to be worth $40 million. So what you do is you buy, in order to do that, you'd buy 2 houses a year.
2 houses a year.
Mm-hmm, that's it. I buy a house like every week or every other week. You don't need to do all that. You need to do 2 houses a year. And by the time you're 40 years old, you'll be worth 40 million bucks. Single family is way easier to get into. It's more prevalent. There's more deals out there. Here's kind of the way I look at it. People say, hey, in order to get started in videography, should I go buy the Canon M50 for $300 or should I buy the A7S III for $3,500? You're going to tell them to go get the A7S III because that's a wonderful camera and that's what you use. But what if they don't have any money? You're going to tell them, they're going to say, well, should I just save up for the A7S III or should I just buy the Canon M50 and get started? Get started. Yeah. The value is getting started and learning the mechanics and the skills and all of those things along the way. So I tell people, start in single family. It's way easier. It's less expensive. It's more understandable. There's more clients for it, meaning like in a multifamily property, how many exit strategies do I have? I can rent it. Maybe I could turn it into a hotel, but like I can't do all the things that I can do with a single family. Single family here, I could rent it to a regular family. I could wrap this, which we've never talked about wraps. Let me tell you what a wrap is real quick. Yeah, right. Okay, so I bought this house subject to, right? Okay, so the seller and I have a promissory note together. I owe him 500 grand. I could have turned around and I could have become the secondary bank. And I could have taken the bank's terms, right? The seller is the bank. He gave me $500,000 terms. I could wrap my own terms on top of that and sell this property to somebody else for $650,000 and I then become the bank. So now that person owes a total of $650,000, which $150,000 of it's mine, $500,000 is the seller underneath me. And think about it this way. Let's think about like a camera. What would you pay for an FX3 right now?
Right now, nothing over $3,200.
But what if somebody gave you terms? Would you pay $100 a month for $4,000?
That'd be the best solution.
Boom. Okay, so you'd pay more over value for $100 a month.
Yeah.
So what if Chris finds somebody at $3,200 that is letting him make a $100 monthly payment? Okay, so what he could do is he could get that camera for $3,200, create a promissory note between the previous owner himself for $3,200 at $100 a month. He comes to you and he says, hey, do you want to buy this from me at $4,000 for $125 a month?
I'll still do it.
You'd still do it. Yeah. So you didn't even have to become the owner of the camera. You essentially wrapped your own terms on top of it and sold it to him, and now you're the bank. You're creating money out of thin air. That is another exit strategy. So when you ask the question of should I start with multifamily or single family, I say start with single family because not only are there way more deals, but there's way more exit strategies. You could do a lease option, you could do a wrap, you could rent it, you could do Airbnb, midterm rental, you could do sober living, you could do behavioral health, assisted living with like, this would be a good assisted living house. People, like older people that, you know, now their kids are like, we don't want to watch you. They pay, you know how much they pay per bed for assisted living? $6,000 a bed. I could bring in $50,000 a month, but the problem is I don't want to do that business. Why? The reason why you wouldn't do assisted living is because in order to do assisted living, you now have to be licensed. You have to have a nurse on site. You have to have a dietitian. You have to have a doctor stop by once a month. And then, so I owned 4 assisted living businesses about 5-6 years ago, and I would get calls in the middle of the night from Rose. Rose was my property manager, and she's like, Pace, we have another dead person. And I was like, I'm out. I want to get out of this business. So you learn what exit strategies you like and you know how it adapts to your personality. Some people have a bleeding heart for assisted living and they're like, I want to do assisted living because that's something that I really am passionate about, right? So I like doing sober living because there's no license needed. It's less money, but way less management and 0 government oversight. Here's what I learned on this house. I learned that I don't really like doing big houses because I'd rather do like the house we went to earlier, 3 bed, 2 bath, actually still more exit strategies. There's less exit strategies for a big house like this in a nice neighborhood with an HOA than there is a neighborhood that's a smaller house with no HOA. Nobody's looking at us. We'll do a part 2 of this. We'll break down the numbers. You'll do part 1 and part 2 of Rowlett and 9618. If you guys want to learn how to do Subto deals, how to buy seller finance deals, and you want to learn how to join a community of people that are going to help you do it, Zach Shelley, shout out, got me the deal. Noah Hoffman manages the contractors. Noah Hoffman manages the Airbnb still to this day. Even today, 2 years of owning this property, I had to text him this morning and go, hey, is the property vacant, open? I don't know. I have literally zero involvement in this property. That is being a business owner. And if you want to learn how to get private money lenders, Debbie Liu is the person that loaned money to me. I've already paid her off on this, so I have no more private money lenders, but the cash flow from the Airbnb paid off my private money lender. If you guys want to learn how to get into a community of people like that, I'll put a link in the description how to join the Subto community. And we'll see you guys in part 2 when I do a whiteboard breakdown.